Dragon's Dogma is an interesting game, to say the least. I was going to talk about it last week, but I was feeling really sick, and I just didn't want to do anything, so I didn't. But it's actually pretty good, because I got to play it quite a lot more since last week. I actually played it quite a lot over the weekend. And I have a much better familiarity with the game, and it's pretty all over the place. It definitely has an overabundance of systems. There's so many systems, and most of them are pretty goddamn broken. Very broken. But you can see the potential in a lot of them. And you can see how they tried to also give you a lot of quality of life to some of them. The menus are they work pretty well. They have a couple of things that are very useful to do. So you can take an entire category and put it in storage, which is really useful. Really useful button that shortens inventory management crap quite a lot. There's still a lot to be desired there, but it is pretty good. The core of it is actually still pretty good. With that said, there's a lot of things broken, and you can actually see them trying to fix some of it in the DLC or expansions or whatever, the extra content that came out with more stuff, with patches and whatever. A great example for that is fairy stones. You actually get fairy stones throughout the game, which allow you to teleport between specific locations that have port crystals in them. And this is basically fast travel, and it's a big world, and you don't have a mount, or at least I didn't find a mount so far, and I'm pretty far into the game, so I'm guessing there's no mount. And you have to just walk from place to place, so obviously fast travel is very useful, but fairy stones were a consumable, and there's a specific amount of them, or you could buy them for a very large amount of money. That sucks. In such a game, you definitely want to be able to do that, to fast travel between specific locations in a convenient way, or otherwise you're just going to be walking a lot of the time, which sucks. And so in the expansion, at least, or DLC or whatever it is, I had in my inventory from the beginning of the game, in storage, that is, once I could access my storage, an eternal fairy stone, which allows me to teleport between locations as much as I want, because it's eternal. It's not consumed. So that's just one tiny example of the myriad amount of all kinds of things, all kinds of systems. And probably the most interesting one, the one that is done the best, the one that leaves this game with a positive feeling and that it's pretty good, is the combat system. It is very, very interesting. I have still not remotely scratched the surface of it, because I've only done one vocation. Vocation is kind of class, and there's a bunch of them, and you can do all of them. It's just one at a time, I think, if I got it correctly. But luckily, I guess, I got into the Hunter. And the Hunter uses a bow and daggers. So the daggers is just kind of close combat, and it's supposed to be pretty quick and stuff. And the bow is ranged, so it's a bow and it's ranged, and it's really, really good. But through the daggers, I got all kinds of abilities. And specifically, I got two abilities that make this game, for me, much better. One of them is called Dodge, which dodges, it rolls out of the way, and the other one is Double Jump, which is just, it makes the verticality of it, and there's a ton of verticality, quite a lot of fun, and also is just another way to dodge stuff, to be honest. This is one of my main gripes. When I came into this, I'm Souls, Dark Souls, the Souls series, right? I'm kind of locked into it, and I know Dragon's Dogma is a different game. It's an RPG, more Western RPGs, more standard stuff with quests and everything, but you still you walk up and you have an action-oriented combat system. You kind of want to have a lock-on mechanic, and there is no straight-up lock-on. It does sort of lock on. I mean, if you attack in this direction and the enemy's over here, it'll kind of do this automatically, sort of, but there's no lock-on. There's no, I am now locked on, if I move left and right, I circle this enemy. It doesn't exist in the game as far as I can tell. And that is really uncomfortable. Add to that the fact that you don't exactly have any dodging maneuvers. The main dodge maneuver is to jump away, sorta, and that's really uncomfortable. And it makes me really, really sketchy about getting close to people, which is why the bow is wonderful. But then I got the dodge and the double jump. And then I just went in with daggers, so screw this, they're never hitting me, because I could go in and actually dodge stuff. And then I enjoyed fights with, say, ogres, which are just giant, annoying things that deal a ton of damage and kill me in a single freaking hit. I could fight them because I could dodge their attacks. Oh my god, that was so important. And I enjoyed the game greatly. And now I'm starting to try out different vocations, and when I try different vocations, I don't have that dodge, I don't have that double jump. And now I'm slightly sad again. There is a shield. There's a vocation with a shield. The other ones are just ranged, maybe, or they could use daggers that without dodging, or maybe they do have dodging. I'm not entirely sure, but there are a lot of really cool things about this game. The way that you have standard attacks and some core skills with that. It could be various things and different button presses, and then you could press the shoulder buttons or the triggers depending on your whatever it is. I'm playing with a controller because it's just more comfortable for me, in order to just get a different system of attacks, different attacks that cost stamina, and everything is basically stamina, which is a good thing. I like it, and it can be done. It could be done really well. I like the fact that this is the scheme, and then I hold a button, and the scheme is different, and it's different attacks that have a different way, or maybe a different charge. I like that. It's interesting, and it's done somewhat here. I also saw this system back in the new DMC game, the renewed DMC game. I kind of hated it over there. It's a totally different game, obviously, but I kind of hated it over there. Here, I like it even more, and it's a cool system. It's an intriguing system, and the game on itself is a lot of fun. It's broken as all hell, but it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying playing it. And I'm going to keep playing it, which is great. Probably not going to talk about it again because there's not too much more to say. Other than the story is terrible, the quest system's broken, there's tons of bad stuff about it, whatever, it doesn't matter. The combat system's cool. And now we're just waiting for one other game that's called The Witness from Jonathan Blow, which has been in development for a bajillion years. And it's coming out really soon, like tomorrow. And I cannot wait to see what people think about it. I have not bought it or anything, and I don't know if I will. I need to see reviews and think and be in the mood for such a puzzler game. It looks incredibly intriguing, and I don't want to say anything about it because I don't know anything about it. And it is definitely going to be, at the very least, quite interesting because Jonathan Blow is quite a clever person. I really like him. I like his talks. I like his thoughts about technology, and he's a coder as well. He's a designer coder, which is sort of what I am, but I just do design right now. I stopped kind of not doing code anymore. I'm just doing design right now. And Braid was excellent. So, Braid, his previous game, was absolutely excellent. So, let's see what The Witness has up its sleeves. Because I don't know, never mind. Because The Witness is a person that has sleeves. What am I talking about? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.